are encouraged. Just talk over me.
We got a cup of coffee in here, please.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. It's a bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Oh, it's coffee. Good coffee is good coffee. I love coffee. You love coffee. Welcome to the Coffee with the Dog show. Good morning, people of Earth. Today is Thursday. It sure feels like a Thursday anyway. Am I correct? I'm correct. It's Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. Great to have you here. Great to be alive. Great to be anywhere. Thinking a lot about death. Thinking a lot about death. Why am I thinking about death so much? Well, a lot of people of my age are dropping like flies lately. And I'm thinking about this. The life expectancy in the United States is getting higher. People are living longer lives. But I think my particular 5-year span of my generation, the people who are class of 75 to class of 79, those people are skewing the life expectancy down. They have to be, because my people are dropping like flies the last couple of years, dropping like flies. And still, we tend to live life as if tomorrow was a promise. Um, and been thinking about that a lot lately because Gino passed, friend Gino, we've known, been part of my circle since kindergarten. Um, yeah, I don't want to memorialize him here today, but um, just thinking about all the people around my age that have passed in just the last couple of years. And, the causes, of course, drinking, drugs, um, Bugman, chasing the Bugman. Uh, yeah, I'm glad I woke up today, too. Good morning, William. Good to see you. You're the first in the chat room this morning. First, um, thinking about, just all the people have passed. And, there's a hell of a crew. That's for sure. If there's an afterlife, there is definitely a hell of a crew getting together these days from my old day, my old school. Anyway, think about mortality, but it's not, not to be morbid or any of that kind of stuff. Um, it's really the fact that we have to stop, all of us, no matter how old you are, stop taking life for granted. Well, because I'm thinking about my friend who just passed, and it's been years actually since I actually had any significant interaction with him. Just let the years go by, assuming that, we're all going to be here tomorrow. We all have to stop assuming we're all going to be here tomorrow. That's the point here. The shirt is a happy shirt. I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy guy. Went up to Jokeland yesterday to visit with Jackie Martling. Jokeland is the estate of Jackie the Joke Man. What a cool little um a fun house he has of his own. Jokeland is a separate building from his house. He's got a little a studio, I guess I would call it, but it's not really a studio, but it's his fun house. And it's got all of his life's work in it, from master tapes to all that kind of stuff, memorabilia, and just a great visit with Jackie yesterday. Spent a lot of time talking about mob stuff. Uh, apparently, we have a lot of the same connections, and in the entertainment industry in New York, there's a surprising amount of mob influence, mob ownership, mobbed up club owners, mobbed up agents, and all that kind of stuff. Spent some time with him yesterday. He's not, I have to say, he's not looking like he's doing great. He's okay. He's not, like, dying or anything, but, knee replacement surgery, big thing, well, especially after 70 years old. So he was laying on the couch most of that time we were there. I brought my friend Ralph with me, bringing him a clone of some marijuana, uh, kush plants, two couple of clones actually, and got to see his pot farm. And when before we were leaving, he said, basically he asked how long we were staying. I said, no, we got to get going. He said, well, yeah, go up the stairs. And he got off the couch and he showed me the stairs. He said, go up and go around and around. And I did. I followed the stairs up to the attic. And his friend who we were hanging out with, who I've already forgotten his name, sadly, um, was up there, uh, putting together a little goodie bag for himself, from Jackie's pot room. He said, "You want one?" Sure. They gave me a bag of pot. Um, that was full, a full bag of pot. Hanging up, and then we went out to see the pot farm where he was growing all the stuff. And you know what? A beautiful place right on the beach, but I would be really worried about kids finding that and digging it up, and pesky kids coming around the yard and all that kind of stuff. We talked a lot about growing marijuana yesterday too, which I never have done. But then on the ride home, and it wasn't a pretty day here on Long Island. It wasn't like a summer day. It was like an early spring day, a little chilly, very gray, rainy. And I was driving, and my buddy Ralph was with me, and he rolled the joint on the way home. Not of Jackie's grown pot, but pot that he brought with him. And he rolled a pretty fat one for me. I don't smoke like that anymore. I can't. But he rolled this cigarette, and man, I can't remember being that stoned ever in my life. I mean, so I came home and was trying to work on some music. I've written a song that I want Kiera to. It's right up her alley. It's a song called Second Fiddle. It's a bluesy type Etta James type thing, and I was trying to work on some tracks for that stuff, and just like totally too stoned and stupid to even do it right. And then William sent me some tracks from the stuff that I sent him from the night before, which I'm looking forward to putting to music. It's a lot of work because format and bit rate and stuff, so the timing seems to be off, and so now I have to cut it up line by line and put it into the timeline. It's not a big deal, but it's a matter of work. It's something you can't do when you're stoned. So I just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go lay down and just chill out, maybe watch some Bob Ross and, fall asleep. And that's what I tried to do. Of course, I did not sleep well at all because I never do. But didn't get a whole lot done last night, and I'm blaming it on the ride to Jackie's place. Now it's a Long Island is a long place, and I had to go to the South Shore to pick up Ralph, and then back up to the North Shore, all the way to the other end of the island out to Jackie's, and then reverse the process. So that was part of the day too. But it was a fun day, a different kind of day. Took the night off from Mind Dog TV. Now tonight, I have a great show on Mind Dog. I don't know. It's going to be a great show. Interesting show. That's what I should call it. Hopefully, it'll be a great show. Uh, Frank Fornarich, I guess that's how you say his name. He's an author and a biologist, Frank Forensich, Forencich. He's an author, internationally recognized leader, and health performance education uh, expert. He earned his BA at Stanford University and human biology and neuroscience, and has over 30 years of teaching experience in martial arts and health education. Now, his book is "Beware of False Tigers." He's got several exuberant animal, and he teaches a lot of I don't know, alternative techniques, holistic um, body posture, um, animal health, natural animal health uh, routines for human beings. In other words, walking on all fours. Crazy idea, right? Walking on all fours. I don't know how long I could do that for. Maybe 2 minutes at most. But it should be an interesting conversation to hear what he has to say. It seems like a guy who's very opinionated about um, his ideas on health and not just physical health but mental health. So that should be a good program tonight. I hope you'll join me for that. Um, so that is what it is. Anyway, Ghislaine Maxwell is in the news again because I guess it's going to be sentencing day for her today, and they're asking for 30 years in prison for her. Now, she got found guilty almost like over a half a year ago, over 6 months ago now. I think it was over 6 months ago. And one thing I'll say about her, she hasn't ratted out anybody, or she has been not prosecuting anybody. But it seems awfully troubling that we know what she was found guilty of. Pretty horrific thing. Trafficking teenagers. We know we know a list of possible and probable very rich and powerful men that she was trafficking teenagers too. And not one of them has been held accountable yet. She's going to go to jail for 30 years and hasn't ratted out anybody. I find that hard to believe. Um, but maybe she has, and they're just not prosecuting them because we saw how reluctant they were to prosecute Epstein. They, meaning government, different governments, whether it was the state of Florida, a state of New Mexico, or the federal government, or New York, very reluctant to prosecute him because it had to eventually lead to people like Donald Trump and Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and maybe Elon Musk. I don't know. We don't know. We know the list of probables, possibles, all those people, but every single one of them powerful, rich, and influential enough to keep their fucking pervert asses out of jail. Nothing's gonna happen to any of these fucking people. This is the shame of it. I'm having some allergy issues this morning. Excuse me. It's that time of year. It is that time of year. Um, so Guile Mosher will be with us again today. I'm gonna get the most out of Guile. He has some commitments in the morning starting July 18th. But until then, I'm gonna bleed him for everything we can use him for on the program. Good morning, Craig. Hope you're still getting some much needed water, but in the right proportions without flooding out there. I noticed, speaking of the flooding stuff, you posted a picture yesterday for Chad saying at least it's you're not here yet. You're not here. And it was the motel he was at from when his grandparents got flooded last year. I think it's premature, bro. From what I can tell, that monsoon season probably is going to be pretty heavy again. It's just really starting. So I wouldn't make any predictions about that just yet. Especially saying that no, at least it's not a disaster like it was last year. Oh, it might be a disaster like it was last year. I just would keep quiet on that. Speaking of keeping quiet, I have a feeling And Chad Shank. Speaking of keeping quiet and Chad Shank. I have a feeling that our friend Carl ratted out his friend Jamie for a joke yesterday to get him put in Twitter jail. Now, I don't know what the joke was, but it had something to do with suicide and Carl's suicide. I think Jamie was suggesting Carl kill himself as a joke, and I think Carl reported him. I do think that. Why do I think that? Well, Chad makes those jokes all the time. It's not like there's an algorithm going around looking for people making jokes about suicide. Somebody had to report him, and Carl seemed to take the light in the fact that Jamie was in Twitter jail yesterday. And not just once, but several tweets, he seemed to be enjoying it, calling it a Dykes free zone. I think Carl was being a little mischievous, or maybe he got his feelings hurt. Whatever. I think he ratted out Jamie. I do think he ratted out Jamie. And I'm gonna have to uh ask him about that when I talk to him. Just a very curious thing. If you ask me, chat room's kind of quiet today. That's okay. Um, I think he'll probably pick up as Guile comes on and Flat Earth, Robin Quivers, Kiera comes on. Um, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Carl's no rat. That's what Dean says. You think, Dean? Let's find out. Let's find out if, I mean, he's not here now. I wonder, he might be listening. Carl, if you're listening, if you're out there, chime in. Or if you don't, if you're out there listening and you know what I just said is true, maybe you don't want to chime in. Um, so as I mentioned, up at Jackie's place yesterday, uh, quite a few cool things came from that. First of all, uh, Willie Nelson, who is a close friend, pretty close friends with Jackie, still doing well, calling up about jokes. That's good to see. Willie's 89 years old and still vibrant enough and still full of life enough to be joking, sending emails and making phone calls about jokes. And with Jackie, and still kind of working on some music at 89. 89. Wow. I will be shocked if I am even able if I'm still alive at 89, I will be shocked. Uh, let me see if I can find Carl. I'm gonna see if I can find him on Twitter and see, or I could just drop him a direct line. I will. I'm gonna drop him a direct text right now and see if he's up and around. Uh, anyway, I noticed Kat is avoiding the program now. Since since I dared her, or a better word is encouraged her to come on and sing live. I'm like, hey, good morning, Joey Petroni. Joey Petroni. Good to see you around. Good to see you still there. You'll still be doing home gigs at nursing homes. I'll be in the nursing homes at 89. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'll make it. I really don't. I really don't think I'll make it. And you know what? I started the program talking about mortality today. And all the people my age who have dropped in the last 5 years, not to be morbid or a downer about Debbie Downer. Here I am, I'm Debbie Downer. Um, it's that in the last 5 to 10 years, I've seen so many close friends just drop like flies. And yet, we all still live like tomorrow is a promise. And so I guess, and I don't think we ever learned a lesson from it. Like, because I was just laying around this morning before I got out of bed and trying to count the number of close friends that have dropped over the last 5 to 10 years. And it's an incredible number, and I was you know what? I'm forgetting people. I know I'm forgetting people. That's how many have dropped. But, we never see with all those people who have dropped, you've never seemed to learn the lesson that 'cause I just had a close friend pass 2 days ago, who I had been in touch with for a couple of years. And we never seem to learn the lesson that, time is of the essence. Don't forget about these people. Make contact now while we're still alive. Don't forget to tell the people you love that you love them now while they're still around. And so this one won't bring the lesson home either, but it's just we have to try to learn that lesson at some point. Um, so that's what it is. That's what it is. Good to see uh, what's going on in politics right now. I'm not going to talk too much about politics, but it's good to see um, Republicans stabbing each other in the back. It's funny to me, and it would be the same. I'm not taking sides here. It would be the same if it were Democrats, and I'm sure it will be at some point again. But just when people on the same team politically start stabbing each other in the back and throwing each other under the bus in mass numbers. Marjorie Taylor Greene came out and threw 14 Republicans under the bus yesterday, and I don't think she's too fucking stupid to realize she hates Democrats more than she hates those Republicans that she's throwing under the bus, and she's calling for them to be replaced and voted out. Well, you're not going to vote them out with new Republicans at this point. Primary season is now. You're not gonna, vote out those people that she's calling out. She's just too fucking stupid to realize. I hate the two-party system. I hate the team player system of all of it. But if you're too stupid to realize how much you need your team, you know, and she is one of the stupidest fucking people alive, so anyway, just good to see politicians stabbing each other in the back. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. Let them all murder each other. That would be good for America. Watch every politician in office have the Civil War, and then those of us in civilian society can just sit back and watch them. Look, these motherfuckers are back. Listen, you don't even have a real name, you CPZ1M. No, I don't want to buy anything from you. You know what I want to buy from you? Your disappearance. How much will you charge me for you to go away? I don't want to promote I don't want to go down the Jamie Road here. But how much would it cost for you to get on the next rocket for Bezos and or Elon Musk, and then jump the fuck off? I wish I could ban these Twitch people. It's always Twitch that gets through. I should just get the fuck off Twitch. Uh, 2052, Eminem doing a gig at their Luxor nursing home. No, uh, what? 2052, 30 years from now? No, no. Um, Good morning, Christina. Good to see you here. Still, I was wrestling as long drive yesterday. I was thinking about how I'm going to handle the bit of information you shared with us yesterday. I don't know if I'm even going to address that. When Travis Lipsky, the next to final Unbookable, will be with me on Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to address that situation at all. I probably have to, though, in some way, because it's bothering me on a couple of levels. And I don't know. I feel like y- I'm gonna probably address this on Tuesday, but you can't really know people from social media. if you only know people from social media, and I've never met Travis. The only thing I know about him is from social media and the jokes he told in the movie The Unbookables. That's all I know about him. So it's hard, it's impossible to really know somebody just from social media interaction. But you feel like you do, right? So, no, you hear my voice going up high? What the fuck is that about? um, you feel like you do. You feel like you know these people. Like all you people in the chat room, I don't really know. Well, I shouldn't say. I know some of you. I know some of you people who are here. But most of you, I only know from social media, from being part of the same. I don't care if you do or you're not. I just felt the comment he made about trauma rings a bit hollow, knowing that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, and believe me, I'm not skirting around the issue because because I want to be like chivalrous for you. It's not about that. It's just about, for me, honesty and getting to really finding out who the hell you're really talking with. Again, coming back to the idea that you don't really know people you know on social media. You don't really know them. You think you know them, but you don't really know them. And you can't really know them until you've actually had some real conversations with them. Uh, you met Christina said, me? You met, she met the love of her life online. Had to be me. She's talking about me. She's got to be talking about me. Uh, I'm kidding, of course. People fall in love online. Yeah, that's different though. But you get to meet them eventually. I'm saying when you only know somebody on, if they actually fall on, you're not falling in love online. You can't. I can't. You have to actually have an in-person meeting first, right? Or do you? Or you disagree with me on that? So you can meet online. How the fuck did I get down this rabbit hole? Holy shit, and there's no fucking ladder for me. I'm stuck down this rabbit hole. I got no way out. Uh, you can meet people online, but you can't really you can get infatuated online maybe. Uh, I catfish so many babes online. Now, um, I say to be a dope, but I am. I don't know what catfish means. I'm sorry. I am a dope. I admit it. If somebody wants to explain to me what catfish means, uh, yeah. Anyway, down the back, and I should have just fucking leave it there because there really is no way out of that rabbit hole once I get into it. So, I'm just gonna say my belief is that if they meet online, that can lead to them falling in love once they meet in person. But I don't think you can really love somebody that you only know online. But where I started with this thing is Travis. I felt like I tend to believe like I know him, but I don't. I know him from a movie which he seemed very dark. Let's put it that way. His comedy seems to me to be the darkest of all the unbookables. I call them the unbookables like that's a real fucking thing. That's not a thing. It's a fucking movie. It was an idea that somebody had, and they're not really, there's no real connection there between those people other than some of them are friends, some of them stay in contact. They've all been part of a movie together. Um, but it's not like the unbookables is the Beatles, the Stones, or catfishing is basically uh when you fool somebody with a different identity. Oh, someone poses someone else equals catfish. Well, Mike Chavola seems to know about that. Um, I did not know about that. I've never. Yeah, everybody's saying the same thing to attract others. Interesting phenomena. I wonder if I've ever been a victim of that. I don't know. I have to think about that now. I've had, people come on to me online. I never went, but I always think it's a scam. They're gonna be looking for money anyway, and let's face it, I'm not interested anyway. There's nothing I could do. I tell my brother this all the time. Because my brother talks about women a lot. And he's single, 69 years old, and I say, "Why? Why fucking bother? Just jerk off, man, and forget about it." That's what I would do if I were single. Why burden yourself with a relationship? Um, Life is so much easier, so much simpler, so much easier to handle alone. Loneliness can be a thing, don't get me wrong, but, being in relationship is complicated. Being in a marriage or anything is complicated, and there comes a certain point in life after you've been married and divorced enough times like he has. Like, what the fuck do you even he talks about dating. Why would you even wanna go on a date at 69 years? What is it gonna lead to? It's gonna lead to your time being not your time. You have to ask permission for every decision you fucking make. You have to, "Oh, well, we can't, what do you do next Friday?" "Oh, wait, I gotta check with her." Oh my god, that is hell. It just sounded like hell coming out of my mouth. "Wait, I gotta check with her." What are you doing, can you wanna do this? "I gotta check with her. I gotta check with her." You want that? No, you're 69 years old. Be your own man. Declare your independence. That's where I'm coming from. Uh, Dean says he's out at that point. At what point? When you gotta check with her? Is that what you're talking about? William said, "I had a great uncle that got married at 82." Well, he wasn't that great. I would call that a flawed uncle. I had a flawed uncle that got married at 82. Uh, why? The question is why? Why would you do that? I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't. I couldn't. Again, at this age, even if like a an 11, a 22-year-old 11 supermodel approached me and said, "You want it? Here it is." I'd be like, "You know what? It's a lot of work. I don't think I can perform. I'll just have to take a rain check for the next lifetime, I think." um, I mean, I'm not a guy who's prone to bragging about sexual prowess, even when I was young. But at this age, if I were offered, again, the most beautiful woman, the most sexiest, young, perfect, in her prime woman, I'd have to say, it's just going to be disappointing for you. It's going to be frustrating for me. Let's just leave it a fantasy and walk away. uh, oh, Dean's not at that point giving up, but I think you're younger than me, right, Dean? I think you're young. I'm not. I believe me. I'm not telling people to give up. I'm saying my brother at 69 should hang it up and see that there's no upside. There's no upside to dating. If he wants to, I don't want to go down there. I was going to say if he wants a one night stand, a quick hookup, a whatever that website is where you just have sex. That's it. She comes over for sex, and then you never see each other again at 69. If you really need sex at that point, that's okay. It's just the relationship at that point. To have to be accountable for somebody else or accountable to somebody else at that point in your life where you should be, again, you should be declaring your independence, saying, "This is I have only so much life left. I want to be the captain of my own ship." I'm just talking about me and my brother now. I'm not talking about you. I'm not telling you how to live your life. Uh, Companionship means a lot to some people. I get it. Buy a dog. No, again, I'm not telling other people how to live. I'm just saying My perspective on it, that's Tinder Silver, thank you. Is that tindersilver.com? Is that what I'm not interested. Um, uh, and, I don't wanna come off like I'm telling other people how to live. I'm just commenting on every time my brother talk and because he admits it, like, halfway through, he starts talking about some girl he met, and then he's like, "Who the fuck am I kidding? I don't wanna date." Dating? Dating was no fun when you were young. Dating is like going on an audition. It really is. It's like going on an audition. You're auditioning for a part that you really don't even want. Looks like Gaio's sleeping in, and Kiara might be sleeping in, and Carl's just taking a dump. So I'm here alone, which is well, I have you people in the chat room to keep me company. Thank you for being here and holding my hand during this troublesome period of life where I'm just trying to talk my way through the pros and cons of dating. Mike's in. Well, your name came up yesterday, Mike. Uh, Good morning. You are assuming that everyone feels the way about. No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm not preaching to anybody or telling anybody else how to live. I'm talking about me and my brother. That's the 10th time I've said that now. I'm not telling other people this is what you should do. I'm saying for me and my brother in the conversations that come up with me and him every time he starts talking about being lonely or wanting to date people. I'm not assuming anybody feels any way about anything. I don't, your life is your life. Um, and if I have to say that one more time, I'm going to smack the shit out of the entire fucking chat room. I'm not telling you what to fucking do. I'm telling you what my perspective is on it. Um, I could smack the shit out of the entire I just go like this. It's an easy smack. Um, but Mike, your name did come up at Jackie's place yesterday. We went out to Jokeland and we were talking about Tied In and the possibility of going out there and checking that out. Now I could have stopped on the way home yesterday, but I did have somebody else with me who probably would have made things a little difficult. And it was probably around the time you were leaving anyway. By the time we got out of Jackie's place, it was evening already, and you might have been gone from Sidon, but we definitely wanted to come and check it out. I don't get out to Nassau County, and I thought it was a good opportunity. I mentioned yesterday, I went out to Jackie's Jokeland, and up in his attic, and his friend was up there putting together a goodie bag for himself of pot that Jackie grows. I said, "You want some? Sure." And he gave me this bag was full yesterday, a bag of marijuana. And we were, talking a lot about pot, talking about production, talking about show business and all that kind of stuff. But I came home with a shopping bag, a supermarket, Whole Foods bag full of reefer. Thank you, Jackie. Nah, yes. Oh, supplies have arrived. Yeah, I haven't tried it, but again, I was telling the story, and I kind of just alluded to it on Twitter yesterday that on the way home, my buddy Ralph rolled a joint of his weed, not of Jackie's weed, because we brought him out a couple of clones of Bubba Kush and some other Kush to put in his pot farm yesterday. Yeah, I was having some tech difficulties. And so we were doing that, and we were talking a lot about pot. But then Ralph rolled a joint of his, and I don't smoke big joints anymore. I mean, I'm a small token guy, and we smoked a half a joint on the way home, and I can tell you, I can't remember. I'm sure I have in the past, but I can't remember being as stoned as I was, and to the point where I was incapable of doing. I got all excited as I do when I get stoned about creating stuff. William sent me a file of music that I'm gonna him singing that I'm gonna put to music today. I was working on a song for Kiara that is the perfect vehicle for her to sing. And I did get pretty far into it. I got the basic drum tracks and guitar part down and bass part down. But you know, I at somewhere around 8 o'clock, I just said I'm too fucking stoned to work. And I just kinda chilled out, laid on the couch staring at the ceiling for about 5 hours. So that was the sum total of my evening. Kiara's here now after experiencing technical difficulties, so I'll bring her in first, and then, Carl is in the back room, post-dump Carl, and I'm gonna accuse him of a very nasty thing, whenever he decides to allow it, so ba 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 ba. Your call's in the back. You know what? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? You full of energy today?
Um, I'm trying to be positive today.
Uh-oh. Trying to be positive. Well, Carl's here. I
Yeah.
gotta accuse him of something.
Okay.
I gotta bring him in right now. Carl,
What's going on?
you ratted out Jamie, didn't you?
Write out Jamie for what?
For suggesting you commit suicide and put him in Twitter jail. You
No, no,
did.
no.
You called Twitter.
I welcome all suggestions on how and when to kill myself. You can
Well,
come in.
but you seem to be enjoying his jail time too much, so I'm suspecting that you
Well,
had
it's
something to
funny.
do with it. Yeah,
No, no, no.
but
I would never report anyone. Come on.
my point, and you kind of dismissed my point, is Chad Shank makes, and because you said it's always about him, Chad Shank, but he
Hmm.
makes those jokes all the time and never gets put in jail. I don't think Twitter does something unless somebody reports it. So if it wasn't you, somebody else watching had to have reported it. No, am I wrong?
Who said they were going to kill themselves?
Nobody said they were going to kill themselves. Jamie suggested that Carl kill himself somehow. I don't
Oh,
know what the
I
actual
see. I
verbiage
see.
was.
I think it was something like I went under the water in the pool, and he goes, "How is take one of Carl trying to kill himself?" It wasn't even a suggestion; it was just a commentary.
What
Hmm.
was it? What was the tweet? What did he say that it got him in jail?
It was something like the video of me in the pool, and he said, "Oh, here's take one of Carl trying to commit suicide,"
Ah,
something like that.
And that got him in jail.
Looks like it. 12 hours.
Yeah. And what the hell is 12 hours going to do, really?
it's time out for
Time.
adults.
You're not going to
Yeah.
change your behavior in 12 hours. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but you
you
get the
want
war- you get the warning, don't you? You get the warning is if you keep going, you get another strike, and then we can permanently ban you and all that stuff.
to. All right.
So
I want to get both of you guys to comment on it. I don't know where Guile is. I sent him the thing. He might have forgotten about it. I hope he didn't forget about it. But Guile's supposed to be here. But I'm getting myself into some trouble with the chat room, who I'm going to have to smack the whole chat room all once. That because I was talking about my brother, who's 69 years old, who
Yeah.
he talks about when he meets a girl. I don't know how I got on this stuff, but I say, why bother? He's been married twice. He's got kids. He's got grandkids. Whatever. He's now he's a bachelor. Been a bachelor. He's 69 years old. He's by himself, and every time he meets a girl, he starts talking about, "Oh, I think she's interested in me." And then, like halfway, not even halfway, two sentences later, both of us are like, "Are you fucking crazy? Why even bother? You're 69 years old. Just masturbate, forget about it, and get it over with." And so the chat room is, oh yeah,
Mm.
some people like companionship. You're assuming that everybody has that mindset. No, I'm not assuming that. I'm talking about for me. Even if I were presented with the hot young supermodel saying, "I want you," no, it's going to be disappointing for you. It's going to be frustrating for me. Why don't we just leave it a cool idea and move on? And so the whole chat room is mad at me for
That's so depressing, Matt.
it is. Why?
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe I guess you don't understand where I'm coming from, but independence. It comes down to this: what are you doing next Friday? I don't know. I have to check with her. Carl, you understand where
Yeah.
I'm coming from with that?
I understand exactly where you're coming from, but yeah, I mean, maybe he's just one of these people that needs someone around all the time. You know,
Yep.
like some
Yeah.
people need dogs, some
William
people
said he
need
has a
someone sat
great uncle
around.
who got married at 82.
Oh,
Like, why? Why? That's
it's
not
all
great.
about the
That's a
chase.
dumb uncle.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Well,
no. Listen. if a young girl showed that she was interested in me, that would be an ego boost. That would be enough. I don't have to fulfill it now because I know she
So
would.
are you
The idea
saying
was
you're
there.
like an asexual turtle now? Is
I
that
think
is
I
that
think well, except for when my wife really demands it.
right?
But
All
I'm
right.
married. Don't forget, I'm
No, no,
married.
no, no. I'm just saying, if you were single, you'd be like a turtle guy. Like
I think I'd be like I just said, if it was
you
the
might as well
hottest woman in the
just cut
world,
it
I would
off.
say, listen,
Just
there's
be
no
like,
way I'm going to satisfy you. I'm not going to live up to your expectations because I'm old and I'm weak and I just I don't have what I had when I was 22 years old. So I'm not gonna. It's not going to be fulfilling for you. It's going to be frustrating for me because I want to be that fucking virile 22 year
but
old
what if
man,
your
but I'm
brother
not.
is like a raging bull? You don't
He's
know.
got prostate cancer.
He does. He
Yes.
does. Oh wow. So maybe he just wants somebody to love. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, but maybe he wants
You
somebody to love him. You know, because he's not doing great. Is he doing great?
He's
He,
doing pretty good. His
all
doctors are
right.
surprised that he's still alive. Other than having prostate cancer for 22 years.
What? Wait, he's had it for 22 years. Oh,
Right.
geez. Oh,
And,
okay.
and they tell him it's I don't know, in remission. I don't know what it is, but
Oh,
he's
oh,
not dying. Every time he
oh.
goes to the doctor can't believe there's anything wrong with him.
That's okay. My grandfather had leukemia for some crazy number too, 50 years or something like that. He never went through chemo or anything.
He sounds like
Um,
he's got a lot of guile and cunning.
Oh,
I
clever.
just I just I just like using guile in a sentence now
Mm.
because I found out what the word means. Guile is
what
like cunning
what
and
does it
sly.
mean? It does?
Yeah, it
It
means
means
like
something?
you're
Oh.
clever. Guile is clever and strategic and strong-willed and things like that. So
Did his
I like you.
parents know that when they named him that?
I don't know. Let's find out. Did your parents know
Oh,
that when they named you?
oh, hey.
I don't actually no. They did. I don't think they did at all. My mom told me that my name meant bridge.
Is it an adjective or a verb?
Oh,
It's an adjective, I think.
yeah,
Guile. Yeah.
yeah.
I like
No,
Muley
yeah.
better. That was
No, my
cool.
dad. All my dad knew is that it was from a game called Street Fighter, and he really liked the game.
Okay.
He
Seriously?
liked the character. Yeah, yeah. There's a guy in there with an American flag tattoo, and he's has a really
Yeah.
tall.
Colonel Guile, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Van
Wow.
Damme played him in the movie.
You can't use anybody else's name in a sentence and as an actual word, can
Yeah,
you? Well, me, you could say like a mat on a
Yeah,
gym mat.
there's all kinds
yeah,
of
you
hippie
could.
names, right? Like Trinity or
Yeah.
Yeah,
River.
you
Yeah.
could use those in a sentence. You could use any name in a sentence,
Oak.
really.
Oak tree.
You just
Yeah.
have to end with "is retarded."
Exactly.
Were you named Guile because you managed to shimmy around from the coat hanger when it was coming in? You're like, no, not today.
I was hanging on. Fuck, man. I wish.
Yeah. Well, good to see you here. I was telling people I'm gonna milk you for everything we can until you July 18th date. We're gonna try and get every ounce of funny out of you that we can. You're like a funny rag or a
Feel
squeezing.
free. Yeah, because once I start working, my soul will be crushed.
That sucks.
I feel you.
Well, we're hoping to do a nighttime show, which might be a little more conducive to that.
Yeah,
A late night show.
I'll be on at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Well, no, it'd be midnight to 1 a.m. here on the East Coast, where out there it's 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's not a bad hour.
Oh yeah, that really isn't bad at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bill is a good name. That it's actually a meaning. The Bill.
Gotta pay my
What
bill.
about Dick?
I don't have any right
How
now.
did we ever
I
get
told
Dick
you about
from
that.
Richard? I never understood that. There must have been a guy, Richard, who was a real dick, because there's no way.
I would be upset if my name was Richard and people started calling me Dick. First of all, I'd be mad at my parents for naming me Richard
Right.
in the first place.
Right.
So, anyway, Guy, do you have any opinion on love and old people? And if you're, see, the thing is this: my brother's 69 years old, every conversation I have with him starts out about, "Oh, I met this girl at the grocery store. She's really hot and she's young and she's good looking." And then, like 2 seconds later, it turns out, "What are you, fucking stupid? You're 69 years old. There's nothing you can do about it anyway. It's going to be a waste of time for you, a waste of time for her. And if anything should happen, you're going to have to check with her. Once you start dating, yeah. Oh, what do you do Friday? I got to check with her." And then your life is ruined. You're accountable to somebody else. Do you have any? Because everybody is against me. Even Carl's against me. Kiara's against me. The entire chat room is against me with that attitude.
Old people fucking?
Not fucking, dating and getting into a relationship. Fucking, I'm fine with.
Fuck,
What?
man. I don't know. All I know is when boomers fall in love, they end up getting married, and then some old boomer, the boomer guy finances all of the ladies' fucking
That's true.
financial failures, and then she opens up a furniture store and ruins antique furniture with white paint.
So you're doing my biography then?
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about?
you just
You know what I'm
basically
talking
told
about?
my story.
Have you ever been to like some fucking town in the middle of nowhere that has like a furniture store that's clearly failing, that hasn't sold anything ever, and some old lady is like buying up antique furniture, and like she thinks it makes it look cool by like painting it white and then sanding it off to make it look old again.
Yeah.
I
You ever
love
seen
that
that?
kind of furniture.
Yeah, it
That's
never
my
sells.
Never
I would
sell.
buy
They
it.
end up putting a not for sale sign on it, like anyone was gonna buy it anyway.
Wow.
Been there for so long that they can't fucking justify having a price tag on it anymore.
I can't
Wise
believe it.
guile.
Christina says she doesn't think there's anything wrong with old people dating. Now that's fine that you can have that, but don't be mad at me for having my opinion that you're better off being
You're
independent.
just jealous. You
I
want
don't
your
know.
brother all to yourself. You want him to be there when you call.
No,
If
Be
you
there.
if you fuck old ladies at any age, there's something wrong with you.
no, but his I think you're right about that. But his
Oh.
is now they really hate me. His is younger women, so he's like 69, and say a girl in their 30s, late 30s or early 40s is.
That
he
is not a
thinks
younger
coming.
woman.
Yeah, well, for you, it's
Anything
old.
post 30 wall is hittable for an old man. Go for it, man.
Right, yeah.
So sad.
But my comment, I guess, that pissed everybody off, that was that even if a 22-year-old perfect supermodel offered me sex, I would say, listen, it's just going to be really frustrating for both of us. If you're going to be unsatisfied, why don't we just like both ruminate on the idea and go our separate ways? We'll both be happier. 'Cause there's no way I'm going to satisfy you, and there's no way I'm not going to be frustrated that I can't satisfy you. So forget it.
Lady, look.
Yeah,
It looks like a really big raisin.
I was thinking raisin. Keeps
Look
listening to my jokes.
Listen,
Wow.
lady.
I hear the California Raisin song going on now. So I went out to Jokeland yesterday. I've been out to Jackie's house yesterday, Carl.
Wow.
Nice. Finally, how was it?
He gave me a bag of weed.
Wow.
Open the bag. What's in it?
Weed.
Is there really weed in
It
there?
was not anymore. Right now, there's only about an ounce left in it. I put most of it away, but weed,
What the fuck?
buds and stuff. Yeah.
Just wholesale like that?
Yeah, he sent me up to his attic where his friend was making himself a goodie bag, and he had like 4 ounces in his bag of like stuff. And he said, "Oh, you want one?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take one." And he filled the bag up for me. But
One
we were
weed, please.
out there, discussing his pot field and pot farm and all that stuff, and giving him some clones of some Bubba Kush to put in there and all that kind of stuff. So spent the day in Jokeland seeing his studio and all his archives of his career, talking about show business, talking about the mafia, and getting a bag of weed. That's what we did yesterday on the beach up in Bayville.
Nice, dude.
Wow.
Beautiful estate. He's not
Is he-
looking like
Is he
He's not looking-
mobile? Is it, can he get around?
he forced it at the end. So when he wanted to show us the Jokeland part of the estate where his little studio is, but I didn't want him to get up, but he forced it.
Wow. All right.
That's your litmus test of if they're doing well, as if they're mobile and can get around.
And
Yeah.
he wasn't. Yeah, I mean, he was a walker, and
Ooh.
yeah, it was not. You know, he got a fake knee. That's the deal, Kyle. He got knee replacement surgery last
Holy shit!
Friday. Yeah,
Replacing bones, man.
I know. That's a funny thing. You know, a hip replacement, knee replacement, all that kind of stuff. Don't look forward to that.
Are you gonna do that?
I don't think so. I think I'll just shoot myself. Oh, I'm gonna get banned now from Twitter. I'm not really gonna shoot myself. I'm gonna have Jamie shoot me, or Carl. I'm gonna have Carl rat me out to Twitter and get me off Twitter. That's what
You guys are on Twitter.
Happily.
Who the
I don't
fuck's
know.
using Twitter?
Not
Carl,
me.
Carl, what's the update on you? Anything down there? I mean, I see you out there carousing the bars at night, and drinking and.
I went out to a place that I'd never normally go to last night, but it was all right. It took them about 30 minutes to make a drink, but they were pretty fucking good drinks when they came.
Aha.
Are they on
Weird
fire?
flavours.
And your health
No,
is
the
all
one that-
recovered?
Peanuts. Pretty good. I've just got an annoying cough, which I have some cough syrup for. If you want an exciting update
Lean.
for my life,
Huh.
that's it. No, I got out to
Cough
get some
syrup.
pizza yesterday.
Were you tested? Do you know that it was COVID? Not that it makes a difference. All you really need to know is
The
you
tests,
didn't feel good.
but the tests don't work. they were
No,
the
the tests
proven not
work.
to work.
No.
No, they don't work.
What do you mean they don't work?
The PCR
Trump's still president.
Well, he is, but the CDC, they admitted that they don't work. They give out false positives all the time.
Yeah, and
Well, it
also the
wasn't false
guy.
positive in my case. I was sick as a fucking dog.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
you probably did have COVID, but it doesn't mean the test is accurate.
No, it's not
Your
accurate.
test said I had COVID.
Actually-
That's
No.
pretty accurate.
No,
You might
they
be
did.
interested to know the guy who created the PCR test. His name was Kerry Mullis.
Yeah.
He said in a live panel interview before he died, he said the PCR test doesn't diagnose you. All it does is it takes a molecule and it extrapolates it, tells you what it is. But just because you have that in your nose doesn't mean you're sick.
Yeah.
He said there are very few things in the world that you don't have at least one molecule of in your nose. So you
That-
could really find anything in anyone. That's what
And
he said.
I could testify being tested twice a week at the nursing home. There were false positives left and right. People had to be
That's
like,
not. That's a whole other subject. Carl was sick. I
Yeah,
want to know
he probably
if it was tested to find
yeah,
out
but
if
it doesn't
what
test
he
for.
had.
They never isolated the virus of COVID, so they don't know what they're testing for. It's not. If you're sick and you think you might have it, that's more accurate than sticking something up your nose.
Pretty much,
And-
yeah.
It
That's true.
definitely tells you whether it's that or the common flu.
No, they never isolated the virus.
If
It
the
could
flu
be
doesn't
flu.
show up and COVID does, you have COVID.
But it can't tell between COVID,
You can't
the
tell
flu,
between COVID and the flu.
cold. It
But
can't
this-
tell.
But the CDC even admitted that they were giving false positives.
I think you're both going to get me banned for putting out false information. Neither one of you have
No, it's not
MDs.
false information.
It's
No,
totally
it's
true. You can look
It's
it
all
up.
on the website and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. You ever heard of VAERS?
Bears?
VAERS,
Oh, no.
the VAERS system. It was like their own. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's it's sort of related, like to the vaccine and shit. But it was like a
their
it was
own
an
database?
adverse effects
Yeah,
reaction service or whatever. I don't know. It was a database run by the CDC that said like where people could report their adverse effects to the vaccine, and they collected information from February to September of last year.
Mhm.
And when it hit 2.4 million adverse effects, they shut the website down and said that people were false reporting.
yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They admitted though they had to pull the test last year. They started saying that well, they didn't pull it, but they said that the PCR
They said
test
it was. Yeah, they said
had
it
to be
wasn't
replaced.
accurate, and then it was like, oh, so the whole pandemic was then just based off a false test.
I
And-
don't think that's accurate. I don't
It is.
think that's
I
accurate.
will give you the articles.
I can't force you to believe it. It's true. I read it off their website.
Well, you know, that being what it says, I don't think either one of you have research credentials, and I do. So,
Okay, then you should know
Research.
this.
Credentials.
well,
Yeah.
I should know that, but I do also know that you can identify the virus has been identified, and you might be talking about the quick test. Quick test is different than a real test.
Mm.
They're-
I'll find
yeah,
the
quick
articles
tests
for
are
you.
like 40%, but they both operate the same way.
No, no, they don't both operate the same way. You're either if you're sick and the markers show up for one disease and they don't for another disease, you know you have the one it does show up for.
I don't know.
Absolutely, that's called control group. That's basic research when
I'm finding
in the
it.
scientific field. I
You
mean,
find the article, but yeah, it's no.
go to Scholar, Google Scholar, and say COVID analysis, COVID testing articles, and you'll find your article.
And
Then
it's stupid
you
to
can send
test
it to
anyway
me.
because it's what do you? I mean, if you're asymptomatic, which they say, so you're not sick, and you're positive, and then you have to quarantine or do whatever. It's just you're just incriminating yourself.
I'm not asking about any of that stuff. I'm not asking about the politics. I'm asking about if Carl knows if he had COVID or not because they gave him cough syrup, and I'm
Yeah,
I
wondering
think he has a cough, and I
Yeah.
hope you
I
get
do.
better.
I do not know if I had COVID or not. I didn't test, and
right.
I.
That's all I was asking. You guys are fucking getting on your fucking.
No, but
Your,
it's the test. No, don't test yourself. Don't freak
Yeah,
yourself out.
if you feel really sick, I mean, yeah, there's a good chance you have COVID.
Yeah, but
Like I'm pretty sure I had COVID in January. I didn't eat for like 2 weeks. I was pretty sick.
yeah, we were all pretty sick.
Yeah.
We were all pretty sick, but yeah, there's a whole reason for
And
that.
I don't think anyone's saying COVID doesn't exist. I think we're
that's
just saying
not what
that.
I'm saying either. I'm asking if Carl knows he had it because they gave him cough syrup because he got
Sorry,
cough
it's a-
syrup, and
it's
I'm
a-
wondering
it's a
if that is
contentious
effective
subject,
in
okay?
treating it. That's what I was asking.
Hey, at least we can get into politics about it.
I wasn't asking about politics. I was asking about why they gave him cough syrup. If he knows he had COVID and if cough syrup works on COVID.
I'll settle it. I didn't go to a doctor. I brought my own medication from the pharmacy. I got some. There's a lot of flu going around, so I brought some anti-inflammatory shit.
Fuck yeah, you got lean.
And some
Did the
cough syrup.
cough syrup make you feel better? Did it make the?
I got this yesterday because the cough's been lingering, so I've taken it 3 times. So yeah, it's helping a little bit. That's it.
Hell yeah.
You don't
Vitamin
sound.
C.
You don't sound all congested and coffee, but maybe you're suppressing it just for this.
I'm suppressing the cough a little bit. I do mute occasionally when I have to go and cough, but it's gross on a podcast. But yeah, been taking vitamin C as well.
Yes.
Everything, pills, everything.
Overdose on the C.
But
Yeah, it's the best thing for you.
You should pour your cough syrup into this.
I'll remember that when I get cancer. I'll just take vitamin C.
Well, you know,
Like Steve
my
Jobs.
bio teacher in college said that she would probably overdose like 10,000 milligrams of C a day if she had cancer. And
Yeah,
you know,
she would die of cancer with a lot of vitamin C in her body, but that's
She would
also...
do what? She would overdose what?
well, like because you're supposed to have like 1,000 milligrams of C a day, but
Vitamin
she was,
C?
Yeah.
You're supposed to have 10,000 milligrams
No,
a day?
you're supposed to have no. You could take 1,000, but she would take 10,000 a day intravenous and see if it worked.
And what would that do?
Well, she doesn't want to go to, if she had cancer, she said she wouldn't want to go through chemo. She would want to try a different alternative way. So,
And vitamin C is the,
But she was
because cancer begins with C, and so let's go vitamin C. So if she had bowel cancer, she'd go with vitamin B.
Yep.
And C.
I think
You're
so.
on track.
I think so.
I don't think there is such a thing as bowel cancer.
Every
by
time
the
I
way.
start to get sick,
No, there
everyone
is
tells me to
bowel
take vitamin C and shit, and it never works. It never does anything for me. I feel it never fucking works for me.
I think you're not supposed. You're talking about like supplement vitamin C, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to get all your vitamins from dietary stuff, and I think all that supplemental bullshit is all fucking.
Yeah.
That's my just
It's-
opinion, not fucking fact, not fucking political nonsense on it either. It's just the way I feel about it. Like you're taking pills and stuff. What you're doing is making expensive pee. You go to the
Yeah.
store,
Yeah.
you buy pills and all that stuff, and you end up pissing it out anyway. If you look at your piss, it's probably going to contain all that shit that you just put through your system.
Right.
Yeah, when
Right.
I get sick, my fiance makes me eat a bunch of garlic. And then
Oh,
I'm just
wait a
sick
minute,
with garlic
fiance. Wait a minute, wait, fiance.
What?
You just rolled right over that word, fiance. Oh, you
What?
reading that? Well, so you're engaged. When do you get married?
I don't know. I've been engaged for like a year now. We're trying to find a I don't know. I'm trying to get my
A
money
job?
right before we get
Yeah. No, I know
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
The last 2 years have been pretty difficult for employment. You know what I mean? So
I know.
yeah,
And you would think out there, because the construction industry is pretty. That's your main industry, right?
yeah.
But out
Well,
there, I thought it was pretty booming
it is
construction.
kind of booming, but the specific trade that I'm in is kind of it's kind of a dying trade, unfortunately, and it's getting
What
taken
is
over
it?
by uh I kind of don't want to give it away, but
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
mean, it
don't want
doesn't
to
really
give it
matter.
away. You have to
It
pay for it. He doesn't want to give it
are
away.
you a
Yeah.
table maker?
No, I'm out of it. I mean, they're if I kind of can't talk about it, talk about what the trade is and like why it's dying or
He's
whatever.
going to work for the CIA, obviously.
Well, no,
Oh man,
well, basically,
I
basically
thought you
it's a
said he was
trade.
in construction.
Yeah,
Construction
it,
intelligence agency.
Oh,
it's
oh,
construction, but
construction.
it's a certain
Oh,
type of construction. But
is it
yeah,
in
it's like kind of
Minecraft? Are you a
yeah,
construction?
yeah, we're losing out
Well,
Mm.
the
to
reason
robots.
I wanted to ask you about this, not necessarily your vocational or prospects, is because I was talking about relationships, and now
Hmm.
you said fiance. So the question is, obviously, I'm thinking obviously this is going to be your first marriage when it does happen. Yes,
Oh yeah, I'm not doing it again.
I'm not doing. Some people do.
I show her videos all the time. I'm like, don't put me through this shit. Like fucking
Divorce sucks.
Right.
fuck that, dude. I'm not getting
Divorce
divorced.
is the worst.
Yeah.
Either
So
ride it out or one of you has to die. That's
obviously,
it.
you believe in monogamy.
Yeah, of course.
I don't. I
Why
mean,
not?
I'm married and I'm being monogamous. I'm not
Are
I can
you a
tell by your
Mormon?
mustache
stepping
that you
out,
don't.
but I don't have faith in the institution of monogamy. I don't think it's something that was mankind was meant for. And
Well,
I
you
got that
cheated.
as a 15-year-old from an old man who was caught cheating on his wife by his son, and we were. I was with him at the time, and the father came out of the living room and said those words to us: "Man is not meant for monogamy." That stuck with me all these years. 47 years later, I'm still thinking about it. But
Wow.
I don't believe
I
humankind was
think you
cut
It's a
you
out.
little late now.
yeah. I
A
think you
little
have
too
to
late.
work at it, and it's really difficult. But it's a beautiful thing if you can. Jesus, if you can be.
Don't take the Lord's name in vain.
I'm sorry that this woman is like flashing me or something.
Flashing you?
I don't know. She's got like this
She's
the
sending
the
mirror signals.
pinwheels. She has them
Yeah.
like on her balcony, and it's hitting the sun, and it's just burning my eyes out.
There's
Can
some
It's
she
lady
hear
outside
you?
with a broken hip and a
no,
mirror
she's
just
across
trying to
the.
signal for help.
Like she probably is.
I
Jeez.
want to know if she believes in monogamy. Chat room, do you believe in monogamy?
Do
Do you
you
think?
believe in monogamy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she
No,
does. Oh.
so
Yeah.
so Guy, you think you're planning on a lifelong? Obviously, you're getting married. You're planning on
Mhm.
a lifelong commitment.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We've
I
been
know.
together for 7
I never
years.
really thought about it. This is why I'm asking. I thought about it as my wife was walking down the aisle the first time in church, and I thought, I don't know. I feel like this is probably not for me. And then the second time, it was really genuinely my idea, and I don't know why. I was 48 at the time when I married my wife. So, but I don't know why. I still think about it this day
Maybe
like
because you're in
compelled me.
love. Are you in love?
See,
That's a good
you
answer.
believe in
Yeah.
love?
Um,
Yeah, man.
gee,
Sounds like you've just been
uh,
going through the motions for a while.
Sounds
I
like
like
that, doesn't it?
I like how Jim Carrey put it. Like, what is it? He gave it 7 years, and then it's probably over, and then he
The
gave it like
7 year itch. I moved out when
seven
we were
years.
married 7 years. We got separated for a year, but as I pointed out earlier in the week, my wife was over at. I rented a house
No,
20 miles away, and she
mm-mm.
was at my house that night cooking and cleaning for me.
And I
So the
told him,
separation didn't.
if that were me, and my man wanted to separate from me, because he had an itch, I would be in his bushes,
It
and I
wasn't
would
an
set fire
itch.
to his house when he was sleeping.
I wasn't looking to step out or find new women. I just, it was that point. Like,
No.
what are you doing
How
Friday
dare
night?
you leave me?
I don't know. I gotta
Come
ask her.
on.
I gotta ask her.
Come
What can
on.
am
You
I
had an
allowed
easy
to?
one going.
That's also
Am I,
where you found all the skeletons. So, I mean, what were you doing over there? You know? Isn't
uh,
that the house with all
that's the same house. Yes,
the serial killer house?
yes.
I can't believe that. I still can't believe that.
Carl's really quiet, isn't he?
What are you guys talking about? Yeah, he's coughing his fucking lungs up.
He
He-
rented that house when he was having his itch, and he you tell it.
Some dead
Yeah.
women turned up in the
Yeah,
house.
yeah, they did. They
So
did.
You rented a
when
house to smash
I
some
rent
brains.
when I got separated, I rented a house, and I was outside. I had my gym stuff set up outside. I was working out, and in between sets working out, I was just like walking through and I saw a bone like sticking out of the dirt, and I started kicking at it, and then it turned out to be like a really long bone. I thought it was a bone a
Tibia.
dog had. I think
You
the
thought
guy
it was
must
just a
have.
regular yard bone. Yeah.
I thought, yeah, dogs. Guy must have dogs, but it turned out to be a shin bone. And it was like that long. And I was like, holy fuck, somebody lost their leg out here and buried their leg. So I called the cops. I thought, maybe somebody should look into this. And the cops came over and they thought it was really funny. They were making jokes and stuff, and I was joking around with them. They tell me they wanted to chase me through the neighborhood because the neighbors there didn't. My house had a reputation. Neighbors didn't like people there, and they thought I might be a criminal. So if the cops were chasing me through the neighborhood, that would be really funny, right? If we would just chase you around the neighborhood. And so we were joking around, and then there was this cover that looked like it used to be a cesspool or something. And the guy said, "Well, what's over here?" And he kicked the cover over a little bit, and he looked in, and there were 7 skeletons in there, 7
Holy shit.
human skeletons down there.
Well, you know what they say when you find a shin bone, the shin bone is connected to the knee bone,
Yes.
It wasn't though.
and
The
the knee
knee
bone's
bone was in
connected
the
to the thigh bone.
in the dungeon that was it was totally not connected.
You had a
to-
fucking dungeon?
Yeah, the
Why
dungeon
weren't you
full of
working out in
7
there?
skeletons. So they called the crime scene. They pulled up all the skeletons, and nothing ever came of it. There was no report. Never made
That
the
is
news.
scary. That
You
is
got
disturbing.
sounds like you got lucky, dude.
Yeah.
And there was a house next door that every once in a while it was abandoned house, and every once in a while I would see the lights on, and I would think that's really weird. And then I thought in my mind, I rationalized it. They must have some kind of automatic setting that lights come on every once in a while. But then after almost exactly a year of living there, I came home and my place was robbed completely, like gutted and broken into. And I called the cops then, and they kind of were going through taking the report, trying to set my wife up for it, saying, "You know what? You're separated from your wife. Any chance she kind of did this while you were over there?" And like putting these ideas in my head. And then they went over to the house next door where the lights come on every once in a while, and they said, "You want to come over here for a second?" And I saw my guitars laying inside the living room, and then all my stuff was in this house. So there were people,
Clever.
yeah, there were people, squatters in that house who robbed my house. But I was thinking maybe they were the serial killers. Maybe they were killing people, or maybe people were just dying. It was a drug house or something. Maybe they were just dying. When they die, what are we gonna do? Oh, just throw them in the dungeon
In the
next
hole.
door. Yeah.
But there was no flesh on the bones or anything. I mean,
No, because that happens over time.
but
A long time.
a long time.
How
A
long?
very long time. I
How
don't
long
know.
do you think it takes a body to decompose
20,
when it's out
20
in nature?
years?
I don't
like,
know. I've never
Oh,
tried
out
it.
in nature
We-
when it
We
This is my area of expertise.
out in nature where it's exposed to like animals and
animals
stuff,
animals would be eating it, right?
or in that tube, but with nothing
Even
eating
in
it.
the morgue, if it's not refrigerated. Again, this is my wheelhouse here. My
But
wheelhouse.
bone dry. How long would it take? To be bone like nothing's there.
I don't know if it's bone dry.
Yeah.
Bone dry. But things start fucking decaying pretty quickly. I remember when the power grid went out in the Northeast, and we were in the morgue, and Dr. Miller said to me, "This is not the place you want to be when the air conditioning goes out. We just became infected. Get out." So it can happen. It can happen really quick.
Usually
Yeah.
requires 3 weeks to several years for a body to completely decompose
Oh.
into a skeleton. That's what I'm
Yeah.
reading right now.
Yeah.
And
I
I
said
need to
20.
write this down. And
Jeez.
Can happen in 3 weeks. And generally when it happens in 3 weeks, there's been some help, like wild animals and
Yeah,
stuff
the
like
wild
that.
animals.
And this cover was partially off. The cover of the dungeon, or it looks like it used to be a cesspool or water tank or whatever, but it was partially off anyway. So there could have been animals going down there eating off those bodies.
Oh
Who
my
knows? It
gosh.
was never solved. I would never found out anything about it. All I know, there were 7 bodies. My wife freaked out because she came over. She was there by the time the cops were there. She came over uh, and when they pulled out, she was like freaking out, like, "Wow, skeletons down there."
And she was like, "Come home," and you were like, "Nah, it's just
No, she
skeletons.
wasn't like,
It's
"Come
fine."
home."
And then you
I
turned
told
over
you.
and said, "Man is not meant for monogamy."
The the year that I had that house was the best year of our marriage. It definitely was, because she was there all the time, and all it was sex and her cooking for me, and it was like playhouse time.
That's
No
the only way a
way.
married man can get
It was
fucked.
like we were boyfriend and girlfriend
Okay.
again, but we had a a getaway, and my place was the getaway for her. So
I think it lasted too long. I mean, a year is a long time. I'd be burnt. I'd be very upset that it took so long for you to come back. Actually, no. The minute you stepped out of the door, I'd be done. I don't know. I think a different way.
w-
We could work
yeah,
this out together in the house.
Different strokes for different folks.
you have a double standard though, Kiera. You
No,
do.
no, I had to leave him. He was ridiculous.
No, so it's okay if you leave and he doesn't. If
No, he was
God
abusive,
forbid, he
though.
wanted.
No,
Yeah,
it was,
women can do anything they want.
No,
They're allowed to.
it was abuse though, so it's different. If you're being abused, then you need to leave.
Define
Now we're
abuse,
getting dark.
because I think having to ask what I'm doing next Friday.
Can we go back to dead bodies? This is getting dark.
Yeah.
Oh, are you scared?
Yeah.
You scared? This scares you talking about?
I'm just kidding.
No, but
Wait, what are you doing next Friday? What's happening?
he's scared of relationships more.
Oh, I thought you
more
said-
of a dead body.
Nah, it
Oh,
was a joke.
He's frightened. He's frightened. But define abuse. To me, abuse can be having to ask if I can go out with my friends Friday night. That's abuse.
Oh
Can
my
I?
gosh.
What, you don't think that's abuse?
I think everyone should make the decisions together. Like when you pick out furniture.
That's the
or
problem.
when you go out
That's
to
exactly
eat,
what I said.
hold hands, all that.
Yeah, no, you can't make any decisions for yourself once you're in a relationship. Everything has to. Well, I got to check with her.
Yeah, you can.
You want a sandwich? Oh, I got to check with my wife. Maybe she's cooking. I don't know. I got to see. What do you want to do? You want a beer? I don't know. I got to call my wife and ask her if I could have a beer. Because I don't know if she has plans for
You'd
tonight.
be lost without your wife. You secretly
People are really
love
sad like that, man. I've had friends that fucking, they get a steady stream of pussy and it totally changes them like on a dime. They don't fucking, they forget about you. They fucking, all they care about is their relationship, and that shit never fucking works out. So, I mean, when you got to fucking ask your girl for everything, permission to do anything, it's always kind of a problem. You know what I mean? Like if she doesn't trust you enough to just let you fucking do your own thing, then, you kind of got a problem on your hands that you got to deal with. But
Mike is saying "get in tune." I don't know what "get in tune" means. What does that mean?
I don't know.
See that?
Well, all of those 7 women in that hole were constantly saying, "Where you going Friday?"
I don't know. They were women. They might have been men. I don't know.
Where are you going? In that hole, bitch. That's where you're going.
Oh man.
I
Those are just
never
failed
got to that
relationships.
point to find out whether they were all men or women or mixed.
Yeah, but your wife, she lets you do a lot. You go.
No question about it. For me,
Yeah.
I have a great marriage, great
So what are you
relationship.
complaining about?
I was talking about for my brother who's 69, who's been married twice and divorced twice. When he says there's a younger woman interested in him, and I say, dude,
For what?
yeah, you really want to commit to dating at 69? Because we're not talking about, well, you're married now. You're talking about dating, and dating means being a fake phony motherfucker. It's like going to an audition and putting on your best
Okay, I
self.
think I just found your fucking problem, buddy.
What?
Dating means being a fake motherfucker.
Everybody
What the
does.
fuck?
Everybody puts on their false face.
They fell in the hole.
Everyone's
Yeah.
got like a, everyone's got like a customer service voice. You know what I mean? But like,
That's exactly right. That's
Yeah,
my
be
point.
yourself. I think I think if you set yourself up from the get go to not be like a total,
Yeah, I agree.
phony, then
You have
you're
to be
pretty
real.
good.
Just
Yeah.
be like, all right, I shit within
Nobody
the
is. You can
day.
both say that. You can both. I
Yeah,
want
no,
to
I don't.
fucking follow you
I
with a
agree.
secret camera when you go on
I
a
think
date.
everyone puts on airs when they first start dating. Everyone wants to be like, the most
I
romantic.
think
Fucking
that's
blah, blah,
normal.
blah.
You're just being a little bit more polite. You don't have to
Yeah.
tell them that you shit yourself once a week immediately.
Yep.
See,
Yeah,
that's
that's
wrong.
totally true.
I think you should. You should open up with that.
You
And
should.
that's where I'm at now. Listen, I do shit myself quite often. I'm ready for depends. I have no money. I
Right.
think you saw my Tinder ad, right? My Tinder ad said basically 63-year-old 63-year-old bald man, fat, bad teeth, no money, seeks hot young
Right.
supermodel for
Right.
occasional fun when you pay for it.
Sugar daddy.
Right. That's being honest.
You need a sugar mom.
Listen, baby, I got trade money.
Right.
I could pay for your fucking Jetta.
All right.
I don't know. That's what old dudes. I don't know what old
Jetta?
Yeah, whores drive Jettas.
Whores drive Jettas?
Yeah, it's totally true.
I want to see
Wow.
now.
You can look it up.
Yeah, no, I was going to say
What do whores
pull up the
drive?
article on horse driving Jettas. I want to see this.
I don't know. Every time I see a Jetta, there's always a hoe in it. Bumper falling off and shit.
Wow.
Wow.
Maybe that's like
Crazy.
an inside joke or something.
I need to change my car then.
Why? What are you driving?
A Jetta.
You are driving?
Jetta with fucking bumpers falling off and shit. With the fuzzy steering wheel.
Yeah, I know it's no. I have a minivan. Sadly, I do like my minivan. Actually, I take pride in it. It goes
That's
very
a sure
fast.
sign you got kids. It's when you have a minivan. I have a minivan. I used to have kids. I don't have kids anymore, but that's why I got a minivan. When you got kids, you have to have a minivan.
But you have equipment too, so it's good for equipment.
kids.
Yeah.
My
It's big.
equipment are my kids.
And you got to transport bodies to
Yes.
to their final decomposition place.
No, I have to say because I was only there for a week. There's no possible way those 7 bodies could have been attributed to me.
Wait, you said a year.
For the record.
I was there for a year, but I was there for a week when I discovered.
I was like, whoa,
when
we're
the
changing the
bodies were
story.
discovered. No,
Oh.
when the
Yeah,
bodies
let's
were
just
discovered.
returning to the scene of the crime to masturbate. And remember,
Actually, I thought it was the guy who would live there before me. That was my first thought because he had only been there a short while. It was a house that guys who got separated from their wives went to, and I just took it over from the guy before me who was there separated from his wife. He was getting back together with his wife. He moved back with her, and I was the next guy in there. So I immediately suspected him. Never found out about it.
The halfway house of miserable men.
Yeah, and obviously one of them was John Wayne Gacy.
Wow,
Fuck.
crazy. What town was that
should we
in?
look into it? Should we make a documentary and start looking into it?
We should.
Find the 7
I
could.
wonder if
twin
it's.
bones.
Do you think it's related to the Gilgo guy? I mean,
No, it was in Selden, first of all, but
I know. Maybe he started there. No,
No.
I guess there's more than one serial killer on Long Island.
and it doesn't make any sense. If you're the kind of guy who goes and dumps bodies where police hang out, which was the Gilgo murder guy, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's if you have a dumping ground in your backyard, you would not go to. Hey, I know cops are hanging there. Let me go see if I can get arrested for killing these people by dumping the bodies.
I'm paying rent. I'm dumping bodies where I own the
Exactly.
place.
Yeah, you don't want to go too far.
I got my own spot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Jeez.
Yes. So I don't know. Everyone, I lost track of the chat room, but
There's a chat room.
yeah, there's
Some
several.
quiet,
There's
some
many,
quiet.
many different chat rooms over here. But I feel like if you feel you need to ask permission to do things, you are choosing to compromise for some reason. You're not required to. Now, this is Mike was basically. I don't know. He's on both sides of the fence here because he was talking to me about the benefits of relationship before. But I think if you're in a relationship, I think that defines every relationship. Can you do things without asking permission? If you're
Checking in is fine. I think if it's too much, if it's everything, you've got okay. I just want to spend an extra hour with my friend and take a quick beer. Do we
Right.
really have to check in? If you're going out for dinner and all that stuff, yeah, just say, look, I'm going to be a little bit
Now,
30
you've
minutes
never
later.
been married, right, Carl? Or have you been married?
Never been married. Just been in long. I've been in a long relationship.
That's like marriage. It's
How
okay.
long?
Yeah.
How's the longest?
9 years.
Wow.
That's
Wow,
long to me.
Nice, man.
That's a long. I'm currently on my longest one now. This marriage is my longest relationship ever, by far.
How long?
How long?
Well, almost 15 years. It'll be 15 years in September.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
I've been
tough.
with
It's tough.
I've been with mine for 7 years. I feel like it's
Itch. That 7-year itch.
I don't have that itch. I don't get it.
No, it's just that number because it was a classic movie with Marilyn Monroe, The 7-Year Itch, and it
Oh,
was
I
a.
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was about a guy who claimed that basically every marriage has that, every relationship goes to that at the 7-year point where.
Oh, is that where he got it from? Because I was
Uh,
quoting Jim Carrey, where he was just like, relationships will only last 7 years until you get sick of each other.
Yeah, that came from originally
Oh.
came. Well, I don't know originally, but it was a part of the book 7-Year Itch, which was made into a movie starring
I think
Marilyn
it takes.
Monroe.
I think it takes 5 years to get to know someone. Like I have
Yeah.
friends who get into relationships, and after 6 months, this is it, and they're devastated if it starts to go wrong. So, well, you need to live with them. You need to be with
Yeah.
them for years, because
Yes.
there's all kinds of little things that come out down the line.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of when you kind of end up finding out like where you fall short and where they fall short, and like how you can make up for each other. You know what I mean? It's not really about, I don't know. People always say like, oh, like, people always say shit about like changing somebody or whatever. It's like you don't change somebody. You just like
Help
if
them.
you try to fill in the gaps. You know what I mean? And if the gaps are too
Aw.
big, sometimes it doesn't work. But you know, a lot of times,
That's a line from a movie too. The gaps. I
don't
got
know.
gaps. She got gaps. We fill each other's gaps.
Yeah, people
What the-
fucking, you know.
Sounds like a dentist.
Yeah.
But
no, that's
I think
cute. I like that guy. Like
I feel like that's pretty common knowledge.
I think this is coming full circle. This
is.
conversation because before you guys were on this morning, I was talking about because some guy who's gonna be on Tuesday morning, who's a comic and filmmaker, Travis Lipsky, who's from the movie The Unbookables, and now is a filmmaker. He has dog art films. He said something to Christina, and we were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
But I started by talking about nobody really knows anybody just through social media. You can't really know anybody.
Of course not.
But there are people now. The conversation in the chat room went from people falling in love online. I was like, I don't think you fall in love online. You can become infatuated with somebody through your interactions online, maybe, but you can't fall in love until you actually meet them in person.
Love isn't just being really, really horny. That's not love. Dude.
See, that's my problem. Right there. You just summed up that's my attitude. I confuse, and infatuation can easily be confused with love.
That was my friend. My friend, she's in Florida now, but she was on those online dating apps, and she would get these guys, and she's like, "This is the one. This is the one. This is the one." I'm like, "No, they just want to get in your pants."
Yeah.
Don't do anything with them for about 3 to 6 months, and see how it goes after that. But
Well,
wait, you're saying withhold sex for 3 to 6 months?
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yes. But then you see their true colors because
No, you don't. You see them completely frustrated and blue-balled.
If they're frustrated and blue-balled, then they just wanted sex to begin with. If they want a real relationship,
I don't think there's a hard and fast rule with that shit. Like, there's no like day. Yeah, let's be reasonable here. So,
really,
I mean, I don't know.
No, definitely not on the first date. I would say 3 months, like minimum.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
withhold,
like I've seen relationships that like start online that end up working out pretty good, but
yeah.
But at the same time, it's like if you're looking for like a steady relationship, if you're looking for something like if you're looking on like Tinder, all you're gonna find is the type of guys that hang out on Tinder. Just like if you went to a bar, the only type of guys you're gonna find are people who hang out at bars. You know what I mean? If you want like a fucking a guy that likes to read, go to a library. You know what I mean? So I mean, like if you're looking for if you're just looking for someone to fuck, like yeah, you can find that anywhere. Especially if you're a lady. All you gotta do is say, I'm a female, and somebody will come fuck you. But
Yeah, Jess Paul said that in my interview with her a couple of weeks ago. She said that she feels like any woman could get any guy just for sex. If sex is just a goal, I mean, basically just offer it to him. The guys can't say no.
Yeah,
William was saying gaps is from Rocky. Yes, that's right. That's why I remember. But Adrian,
Adrian!
what do you see in her? I got gaps. She got gaps. We fill each other's gaps. Yeah, that's where it came from.
I don't think
Thank
I've
you.
ever. I think
I
I've seen
can't
one
read. She
Rocky.
can.
Well, if you rewatch Rocky, it's a retarded man basically sexually assaulted a retarded girl until she loves him.
Right.
But they both evolved into like upper class white people at some point, and they
We all do
weren't
that.
that by the Rocky 3
Yeah,
or
the
Rocky
money, the,
4.
mon- the money,
But
the
then he
money comes
became
in
that
by Rocky
again in
2.
Rocky 5, right?
I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever seen all the Rockies. I've seen like half of one, maybe.
I wish
There's
I could
something
fucking
good in all of
evolve.
them. The first movie's great. The second one's a great sequel. It continues everything, and then they get crazy. You get BA in the third one. You know, Dolph Lundgren with the Russian shit in the fourth one. You know, there's something in everyone.
I think I have seen them. I don't know. I mean, I remember those scenes. I have to have watched it, but it's not something I would watch. Like, what do you want to watch tonight? You want to watch all the Rockies? You want to have a Rocky
You want to
marathon?
watch Rocky?
That's the
No.
Lord of the Rings trilogy suggestion before Lord of the Rings. Do you want to watch all the Rockies?
I
Yeah.
never
No,
saw any
no,
of the
I
Lord
don't.
of the Rings, any of the Harry Potters, any of those movies.
Oh, Harry
never.
Potter's the best. I like
Wrong.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter sucks, dude.
I
Good.
love Harry
Oh, cool.
Potter.
Yeah, Kiara and Guy are disagreeing
Harry
on
Potter
something. Good.
straight
Let's
up
step
sucks.
out, Carl. Let's
Harry Potter was probably our age, right? Or were the same? He was, so it was cool because I read all the books, and then going to the movie theater, he was like, Harry Potter was 10 and I was 10, so we were like 1. Whoa, what happened here?
I want Guile to be looking right at you when you have this argument. See, he's looking at.
Wait, you don't like
Might as
Harry
well be
Potter for
explaining
real?
to me why fucking Marvel is good. I hate all that shit.
Oh, I don't
Oh.
like. Well, Marvel was good.
No, let's stick to the thing
Disney.
you disagree on. Let's stick to Harry Potter. Come on.
I don't know. Every time I've ever tried to watch Harry Potter, I fucking fall asleep. That shit's garbage.
Okay, well, maybe like the first 3 were good, and then but what about the first one when he went to? Come on, that was. The
I don't
best.
know. I fell asleep. That shit sucked. I fucking hated it.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. You could
I wanted to be
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Boner or some shit. I don't give a fuck.
the Stone Sorcerer. The Stone
I
Sorcerer.
don't give a fuck, dude.
I'm loving this.
I don't know.
loving
I
it.
just think it's kind of, I don't know, anything that like just use your magic, bro. Like you don't have to do all this shit. Just use your fucking magic. Ride your fucking broom, okay?
Yeah.
You get out of any situation. Just do your thing.
Right. Just
Do
kind of wizard on out of there.
Yeah, I would think, given all your background and what you're into, that would be a demonic, like bad for you.
Yeah, my
Against
mother
you.
didn't approve of me watching Harry Potter. She kind of thought it was like.
Maybe that's why you liked it so much, because it's forbidden. It's like,
Yeah.
No, I like to read, so I loved reading all the books. I thought it was such a good read for 10, 11-year-old.
I feel like that's
I
one of
thought
those
we were
things
talking
that
about
should've been a
movies.
book.
Now you're talking about books.
I know I like the books, and then I like the movies.
Were the movies true to the book?
The first one definitely was. I thought it was really awesome watching it unfold before my eyes.
So you're the only one, though.
I have to confess, I've been to Harry Potter Studios and gone on the
really?
tour.
In the Universal?
On purpose.
In London.
Oh, they have one in London?
Yeah, that's where it was filmed.
That's where it is. It's in English.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you meant the Harry Potter world they have.
No, so I've been to the sets and stuff for the the Great Hall, but I was dragged there by friends the first time, and do you know what? I actually quite enjoyed myself because I kind of like filmmaking, and it was just good to see behind the scenes and stuff. And then I had to go again because of a lady. So yeah, I've been there twice.
Why would that matter if you're gay?
Right.
They kept
Makes a difference.
Not a lady.
They kept the sets
So she was
up?
your friend. Is what you're saying.
Stop it! They kept the sets up, or
Yeah,
they've
got whatever it's called, the hall where they eat. So you go and watch a video on a screen, and it ends with the Great Hall, and then the screen opens, and it's actually there, and then you walk through it.
Oh wow! Oh, you've been to Privet. Christina's been to Privet Drive.
I don't know what that is. What does that mean?
Yeah.
See, you'll never know.
It literally doesn't mean
It's
anything.
where Harry
It's
Potter
the
was
thing that
first
doesn't
molested.
exist.
Yes, where he was first molested under the staircase. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those sad-looking houses that his aunt and uncle were in.
So, Carl, is this a kids attraction, or do a lot of adults
No,
go
it's
there?
adults too, because the people that grew up with it will go and still love it, right?
Yeah.
So it's for
Man, I
kids
feel
still go.
old.
You know
I
what? You know what though?
It's for adults that never developed legitimate interests.
Yes, yes,
No,
I do
I would
agree.
say more so adults that go to Disney World on
Yes,
their
I was
own
just gonna
without
say
kids.
that. Yes,
They're the problem.
they're the worst.
Dude,
Okay, wait.
Every year, let's go to Disney.
I like Harry
Disneyland is
Potter.
not a personality.
Yes, thank
Just-
you. I like Harry Potter.
I think it
As a
is.
kid, I thought it was awesome. I mean, I'm not like obsessed right now. Like have Harry
Now she's
Potter bumper
backpedaling.
stickers.
You love
No.
fucking Harry Potter.
But I do. But at the same time, I brought my kids to Disney 3 years ago, and it was mostly people my age with no kids, like standing on line, hogging up the lines. We waited on line to see Ariel the princess for an hour and a half, and it was mostly millennials, people my age, sitting on Ariel's lap and being all giddy
Yeah,
without any kids.
it's 37-year-old women on pills with a Mickey
Yes.
Mouse backpack, and
Yes.
it's paedophiles dressed as Goofy. Or
Yes.
what the fuck else is going on?
I
now.
was so enraged the whole time, and then online now they have like these things so the kids don't get bored. They could like interact like while they're on the line, like
Because they're
whatever.
they're so autistic that they can't focus. They have to have some fucking gay
The
little boy
kids?
to play with. Yeah.
They have like toys now. No, because the lines are long, and all the adults would be like playing with the puzzles and
You
stuff,
gotta
and
suffer.
pushing my kid out of the way. I mean, full
Fuck the
grown
games.
adults.
Why do we have
Pushing my
games
kids out of the
in
way.
lines, dude? Those kids need to fucking suffer, dude. That like I did.
Like I did, yeah.
I've always hated theme parks. I don't think I've ever enjoyed like being
Yeah.
on the roller coaster is fun. Waiting in line,
yeah.
being hot all day, fucking getting a sunburn, fucking
Yeah.
fuck that shit, dude. And then the food's expensive, and your mom's bitching because she has
Yeah,
to buy
that's what
food.
the
Fuck that.
capitalism that's run amok in those places. So, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
a hot dog is $54.
Well, I don't know if I want to go to a communist theme park either. I'll be real about that.
And you know, at least 30% of the staff.
That's
are
an
fuck
interesting
kids.
idea. Communist theme park, like do a
it's
theme
called a
park
gulag.
based on like Cold War USSR.
Last time I went to a theme park, I fucking threw up because I was so dehydrated and fucking sick. Like it was. Okay,
You
I'll
are
be
like
real.
cattle there.
I actually
cattle.
overate.
Welcome to the Leningrad ride. You must take lots of vodka before you go on the Leningrad ride. It's 19 tickets.
No, it is a lot. Disney was very stressful for us, and you know, I'm glad my kids don't ask to go back there.
I had a long-term girlfriend that took me to Disneyland for my 23rd birthday. I was so pissed. 23. Yeah,
I mean, if you don't have any kids, why are you there? I don't know. I'm sorry.
my
It's
friend Ralph just went for his 63rd birthday. That was the highlight. He had never been to Disney, and he went for his 60. He took himself and his grandkids, and other people. But
yeah, you have
It's
grandkids.
but
he was doing it for him because he had never been there in his life.
Yeah,
and
but he
he
borrowed
didn't want to
kids.
die without experience.
At least take the children.
Yes,
Even if
borrow
it's
somebody's kids, your friends' kids, your nieces and nephews. Don't just go there by yourself. You just look so ridiculous.
Take the kids, sit them on the teacup ride, and then maybe the Dumbo ride or whatever, and then fucking dip out of there because
The Dumbo was my favorite.
I can't see how it would be good for kids to see me freak out at the lines and all being angry. Hey, let's take a nice vacation where I'll be angry all the time, and you could just wait online and watch.
I
me
was.
Be angry.
I was very angry. Actually, we had an Airbnb like 2 days before that. We weren't in Orlando. We were somewhere else, and we had an Airbnb, and it was so relaxing. And we went to the beach, and we went in the hot tub. That was awesome. Going to Disney, oh my gosh, I couldn't wait to go home.
Yeah,
We should have just had the Airbnb the whole time.
The move is when you have kids, take them to Disneyland and fucking ruin it for them. That way they never want to go back.
That's a good idea.
Just ruin that shit, dude.
That's
Well,
a
Drive
good
down
idea.
there with
undo
no
the safety
AC.
belt.
Huh?
What?
Take the safety belt off on the ride.
No.
Well, that was
Give them a
my
bad time.
parents. My parents had the right idea. They took me to a racetrack at 3 years old, and then let me leave with another family.
Hell yeah.
Was that the Chinese family?
That's the Chinese family, yeah.
Yes, the guy. I don't know if you know. Matt was raised by the Chinese for about a week.
They taped your eyes back and said
They did.
and just blended you in with them.
Well, I have a baby picture of me where I want to show it someday if I can find it, but I definitely look like it's easy to understand why they
They
might
gave
think
you
I
the
was a
Beatles
Chinese.
haircut.
You
Referred
had a
to
rice
food
bag.
alarm
I had
numbers.
a very stereotypical Chinese look to me. I
Yeah.
had some squinty eyes going on. I had the bowl haircut, the
Flip
dark black
flops.
hair.
I look Chinese too. I still do. My eyes are like
But you
slits
never
around.
got taken in by a Chinese family as a small
Did
Smoking
you
child.
really?
cigarettes. Like,
Did you
Yes.
really? For a
It's
week?
chapter one in the book.
For a week.
For an entire week. Well, you have to remember it was October of 1962. Cuban Missile Crisis going on, and there was no such thing as Amber Alerts, and so the kid missing from a racetrack by a degenerate gambler who was too busy watching his horse come in to pay attention to his son. Was not big news. Nobody cared about that. Like, fuck you. You lost your kid. You deserve to
What?
lose your kid.
I was thinking like a car racetrack. I'm like, what are Chinese people doing at a car racetrack? But
What were they doing
I
in a
realized
horse
there's
racing
gambling
track?
involved.
Gambling.
Yeah, they
Gambling
were
with
gambling.
no teeth and smoking, squatting.
Right. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did they want a child or they?
No, I walked away from my parents who were too busy watching their fucking horse come in, and I was playing with their kid. And then somehow, when it's time to leave, I just went with them, and so I was at their house for almost a week.
How did they find you?
I don't remember exactly how I was located, but it wasn't in like an Amber Alert or any of this kind of stuff.
They just
So they hadn't
just
given
had-
up. They hadn't given up.
They didn't detect you. Like
Oh, the Chinese family knew they had
They knew they
somebody
had a
who
white
didn't
boy.
belong here. This kid doesn't belong here.
What
But
did they?
"There's
What did
someone
they?
here."
Wait a minute.
the only clear memory I have, the only semi-clear, it's not even a clear memory. It's a semi-clear memory I have of when it was over and my parents came to get me and I didn't want to go with them. I
You're hiding in
remember
their cupboard and shit.
I'm kind of liking the food here.
Just sneaking out at night.
Wait a minute. Well, I don't understand why they wouldn't like go to security or go to the main office. Why would they take you home?
They're a little too old to ask about that now, but again,
decided-
it was 60 years
decided-
ago.
He didn't want to stay after he found out they don't eat like orange chicken and all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Take me home. Everything tastes like vinegar.
My wife
Wow.
asked if vinegar can go bad. I think vinegar is bad.
Yeah, no, it
Go
Vinegar
bad.
can't.
is bad wine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vinegar is.
Oh man.
But
Cool.
yeah, no. So why did I don't? Maybe they did question it. Maybe that's how I never
Sorry.
never got the facts of how I was located. That's
We got a
part
white
of-
kid now. I don't know.
I don't understand why they took you home. I mean,
It sounds like your parents put you down as a bet with the
Oh,
Chinese.
It
yeah.
does. It does. That's what it
Yeah,
sounds
I
like.
wouldn't-
And it took
wouldn't
a
put
week for your
that-
dad to get the money.
Wouldn't put that past my parents.
They were holding you ransom, dude.
Oh man.
That could
Maybe.
be. That's
Your
just-
dad threw his
absolutely
last
possible.
dollar down and then picked your ass up and put you on the table.
I'll bet my kid's life on it.
Oh my gosh.
But then
Wow.
why
You
would you
won
come and
white
get me
child.
back? You'd be like, ah, you got him. It's your problem now. Leave him there.
Wow.
I
That's
wouldn't.
insane.
Yeah, it is insane. I had a very insane childhood. This is definitely, and Travis, who's coming on next week, he said he didn't want to talk about politics. He wanted to talk about how fucked up childhood can affect people. I was like, well, I'm the perfect guy to talk.
It definitely can, but I feel like because I blame a lot of my personality disorders from my childhood, but there has to be a time when you just have to overcome it and stop blaming. Like I'm talking about me. Like you have to stop blaming your childhood, your parents. You just have to like come out of it. You know.
Yeah, blame is not exactly the word I would use there. I
Yeah.
attribute why I am who I am to what I don't blame, and I don't. Some of this shit you can't change it, and I don't think I would change a thing anyway because it made me who I am. But some of this stuff I know people can't relate to, like being abducted by a Chinese family when I was 3, or being abducted by Princess Grace Kelly when I was 15, and kidnapped by her or going home, coming
Whoa,
home
whoa,
to.
whoa! You
All right,
can't,
hold
you
on,
can't
bro.
skate over that
We're
one.
gonna have to fact check this shit. Do you have any proof of this? Because I don't.
What do you mean, Princess Grace Kelly?
Yeah. So here's the deal. It wasn't for long. It was for like 2 or 3 hours. What happened was riding first class. Not everybody rode first class in those days, and I used to ride first class because, oh look, I got to say goodbye to Govs already. Now they're gonna hate this right in the middle of